Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders, thanks to Sportsbet.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wanderers.
And Calvin.
Coach of a very up and about Calvinator.
Well, do you feel like there's going to be some positive news with teams or something?
We've heard a little bit of negative news about the game out the back here.
That hurts.
I brought my sleeping bag tonight too to camp out, ready to watch some points be scored here on Sunday afternoon. We get the best seat in the house.
Delicious matchup it was going to be.
Actually, we don't get the best seat in the house for the record. We actually have to pack up our little office studio here this week so that a couple of Hawks could sit here and go, oh, sweet. Tom Mitchell got a tackle.
Living the dream, aren't we?
Yeah. No, it would have been great. But anyway, that's not happening. And best wishes to all our mates in Victoria with their lockdown. And
not again.
Everyone else
It's unbelievable.
So at least you can switch off with your fantasy team and hate that as well. So that's it.
That is true.
Yeah.
So that gives you something else to think about.
With that. Anyway, it is round 21.
21, we're nearly there.
Yeah. This is semi-final weekend for those people that are still in finals or who lost last week in your top four battle and have to play this week. So, I guess it is what it is.
You know what I'm playing for?
If you're
What
playing
are
this
you
week.
playing for?
Every year you usually have at least one good round.
Oh, yeah.
When your team sucks,
It's a smacking round.
things fall into place and you go, that is why I picked you guys.
That's it, yep.
I still feel like I might have my one good round.
Yep.
I haven't had it yet. I'm out of finals, but I am playing for that.
Okay.
Well,
So
some coaches might have had that last weekend too.
100%.
as well.
That could have come from nowhere.
Some dream rounds last week
Yeah.
or some big scores there.
And it would get you back up and about.
Sure would.
So I am still excited at the prospect of nailing a week here.
Good. I reckon you can do it.
I think I can.
Well, we're going to try to help you nail a good week this week because we've got some advice coming.
Yep.
And there's a couple of debutants that we know. But, boys, the teams are in. So let's get through them.
Favourite time of the week.
Friday night footy, Geelong and GWS. Holmes is in with Isaac Smith out managed. Right, that's a big one. Quinton Narkle has been omitted as well. Right, got to do a little bit of thinking on the run here, boys. Now, GWS, the ins, Stein, Matt De Boer, Sproul, Riccardi, Briggsy, and Brown are the ins. So they've got a lot out here. So they've got Davis out with concussion, Hopper with concussion, Lloyd's out injured, Green's out with that hamstring, Reed, ankle, Hogan's been managed, and Mumford's been managed.
Man, oh man.
A lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there.
The other thing to note out of that game,
Yes.
Taranto
Where's
has
he
been
named?
named forward pocket.
Right.
I'm not even joking. Forward pocket, Roy.
So who's there on the ball?
On the ball is Ward and Kelly, and through the guts, oh my God, look at this.
Okay.
O'Halloran, De Boer, and Whitfield on
Who's
the
he going to go to, Cal?
He'll probably go to maybe... He should go to Guthrie, but I don't know.
Where's Daniel playing?
Daniel.
Wing.
Daniel, no.
No, it's a typo. It says Brent.
It's a Brent Daniel. It's a Daniels as well. He's on a half forward flank. There's a Taranto in a pocket.
Oh, half forward. Yeah,
Saturday, our
Trade.
games there. The first one will be Carlton and Gold Coast from a Marvel Stadium. And Betts is in, Roy,
Yes.
with Owies omitted and Mark Murphy out as a medical sub. In as a medical sub again. Limping his way to 300. Gold Coast, Brandon Ellis is back and Townsend in there as well for their outs. Flanders, Bowes omitted.
Oh
Jack
my.
Bowes.
Omitted.
That's a big one, as well as Will Brodie too. A couple of very relevant players there, especially for draft. But in Classic, people jumped on Bowes.
They did.
You now got that excuse, I guess, to get
Deservingly
rid of
so.
him.
At the start. He was a beast.
He was awesome.
Now, Sharpie, I thought he'd be in trouble with Ellis.
Yeah, so did I.
He's better. Bowes is better than Sharp.
Sharpie's named on the other wing.
Yeah, of course he is.
To Alice.
Alice.
Right.
Took's in the guts, in case you're wondering.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Richmond and North Melbourne are at the.
That one.
They are playing at the MCG, and Richmond have brought in Vlostone, McIntosh, Ralph Smith, Coleman Jones, and Morris Rioli, who is a 170k mid forward, making his debut. The outs: Garthwaite's omitted, Ross is omitted, Castagna omitted, Cho omitted, Arts omitted.
Oh my!
They
had a
wielded
snap.
the axe.
It's not even an axe. That's more like a Viking sword.
And so Caddy's out as well as a medical sub.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. North Melbourne, they have brought in a Bona and Zerha. Taran Thomas is back in as well as Campbell. Their outs are Bosnilavagi.
Oh, yep.
Your boy, Roddy.
Adu. Omitted. Will Phillips omitted. Cherry injured. Polek managed, and Atley, who was a medical sub, is also an out. Right. St Kilda and Sydney at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda, Caulfield, Sinclair, Mackenzie, Joyce in. Hunter's been omitted. Long omitted. Hunter Clark concussion. Howard hamstring. Billings hamstring. Could be Billings out for the season by the sounds of it. Interesting one there. Hunter's been omitted. Wow. So Rowan Marshall.
Solo.
Full-blown solo.
Again. Against
Sydney. Against Hick Dog.
But now, Hick Dog's been given up a few, though, hasn't
he? He didn't to start with. But
no, I think it's loosened up.
Well, we might even have a scale of hardness coming later.
I can definitely talk about Hickey later. Would you like me to talk about Hickey later?
It's loosened up.
You are onto something.
I thought I was. It's going to be nasty, isn't it?
Quickly, yep.
So, in the last 5 weeks, Hickey has given up 102 points per opposition ruckman, and that is now number 1 in the comp. So, to go, Dog,
significant.
At the start of the year, he was number 2 hardest. And now they sit mid-range, but in the last 5 weeks, they are by far the easiest. Does that force your hand on a Marshall?
It's a bloodbath.
It is.
It is.
It's a bloodbath warning.
Right, we'll talk some scale of hardness a little bit later.
Crikey.
Good. Cow's been doing some work.
Do I get my intro?
Yes, I've got that here ready for you.
Come on,
Adelaide
Cow.
and Port Adelaide. We haven't got through the teams yet, mate. We're still on Saturday night. Well, Adelaide and Port Adelaide. And Adelaide over in the showdown. Thilthorpe is in with Braden Cook, who is a $222,000 mid-forward.
What's his name, Roy? Riley.
Come on, that's old. We've done that weeks ago.
People have stopped laughing
People
pretty
still
much
love
everything
it.
that we've said. So
People love it.
Taylor Walker has been omitted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh. Yeah.
Berry omitted and Rowe omitted.
See that coming.
Yeah, well, goodness me. Had to be done.
Adelaide, Robbie Gray is back. Great news for him. Marshall's been omitted and Woodcock omitted, who was the mini sub last week.
Ancestry.com?
Yep. Now, it's got Sunday games. Remember, these are always the squads, and they will get trimmed at 5 p.m. on Friday. Hawthorne and Collingwood, formerly at Utah Stadium.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Out for Hawthorne. Granger Barras has been managed and bruised out with that knee. Ins, Hanrahan, Morrison, Morris, Cozzy, Park. Probably won't play because it's not here. And Segler are the ins of the squads. And for Collingwood, Murphy's been out as the medical sub. They haven't got anyone else out. But coming in is Big Mason Cox, Dacos, McCreary, and basketball background Wilson. His Boomers campaign over, so he is going.
Wilson! Don't even go there, Dog.
Oh, it's devastating.
Still too raw.
We don't even joke about that.
But we're going to get it bronze medal, boys.
I hope so.
Glass half
God,
full.
if we play Luca or Rudy, that's a tough gig.
All right, Western Bulldogs against the Bombers, and that's the 3:20 game. So Bulldogs do welcome back Adam Treloar. So he's in this week. Handy for any draft coaches there.
Big time.
Maybe he's a little bit time on ground managed maybe early on. So could be an interesting one for you if you are, you've got him on your bench and you're riding him. Do you play him or not first up? It's
a tough one. Luckily, I don't have to think about it because I've got the week off.
You get it. Yeah. That's it.
Great.
So that's a perfect thing for having the week off. You get to
have a
let
look at
him ride through. Ed Richards, Taylor DeRay, Lockie McNeil, and Lewis Young are the ins. Out Hannon with illness, and Waitman has been managed. For the Bombers, they are our team.
Boring.
Cow, your team as well.
Why mine?
Remember, you helped the Bombers get
God,
membership.
you're dirty.
It's a wonder you don't have a Pies membership too now.
Lucky.
Hebble's
Just dodge that one.
Hebble's out with a thumb and Langford with a hamstring.
Oh, what?
What they do? What they brought Langford back with the from that hamstring.
Yeah, so
and
he's heard it. I don't know if it was the same one. Might have been.
Goodness me.
Gleeson, Guelphy, Phillips, after playing for Carlton in the Magoos last week, he's into the squad. Hooker and Waterman come in. Did you see that? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So you'd be licking your lips. Oh, no, sorry. Play on.
Yep.
Go
Fremantle and Brisbane at Optus Stadium.
Yep.
Freo, Pearce, O'Driscoll, Hughes and Bewley come into the squad, and Banfield out with concussion. O'Driscoll, I don't think he's played yet, has he?
No,
Maybe not.
they don't want to play him either.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks,
Scoop.
Gal. That was a...
Scoop.
oh, no. Right.
Yeah, sucked
Brisbane.
in. I've seen that.
Madden omitted. Lockie Neal out with illness, Roy.
Yes!
It's an excuse to
Isn't
get
it
rid of
ever?
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's nice.
thank goodness.
Far out. That we didn't need that.
So what's he added to the list? Illness. He's had everything. It's
Hasn't he?
official.
Yeah, you don't.
He's a never
Bingo!
again.
Yeah.
Well done, Lockie.
Four
You
in a
got
row.
everything.
Coming into their squad is Devon Robertson, Tom Berry, Pryor, Matheson, and also Ballenden. For Monday's game, now remembering this one here, that won't be the squads won't be trimmed on Friday. No, that will be at 4:30 on Saturday. To know this, if any of this will affect whatever you do. So for West Coast, O'Neill's been omitted, but Edwards, that's Luke Edwards, Vardy, Witherden, and Nelson come into the squad. For Melbourne, Viney's out suspended, and then coming in at the moment are Milksham, Vandenberg, Wiedemann and Smith. So, Roy, we've got an issue.
Lockie.
Yeah,
and it's just such a blessing in disguise.
It probably
He's
is.
been so bad. He's been sick for a month, hasn't he?
Yes.
So the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, and I mean, it just feels like that's the way my season's gone, but he's been so bad lately that I actually did look at moving him on.
Yeah,
So there was a couple of people, I can't remember even who the other one is that is my obvious trade out, probably Sharpie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I looked at going Sharp and Neil out
Yep.
for Marshall and Steele side bottom.
Oh, can you
value.
do that with your dollars.
Yeah,
Yep.
10k short.
Oh, bugger.
So that would have been awesome seeing Neil out, because I'm always very tentative to pull the trigger on a premium.
Okay.
Even when they are underperforming. Because how many people say, should I hold your premiums when it backfires?
Because they can slap you in the face the next week.
But, so I'm just short of it. But I'll tell you what, it's there if people have a little bit of money in the bank, a move like that, chasing the value of two guys that I have full confidence in.
Okay.
It's not there for me, though. But anyway.
No. What about, where do we sit now? You've done the teams here, where do we sit now with Taranto? Now, being named in the forward pocket, it couldn't be any more, here it is, boys, for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But I've been tricked by here it is, boys, before.
yes, I know. But we were like, do we believe it, boys? And they've gone, well, here it is, boys. You know what I mean? Forward pocket.
Bloody oath.
With all those outs.
He's safe for me. Another week, another premium down.
Yeah.
If he is a premium.
Hi, it's Nat Edwards. AFL Daily is a new daily podcast from the AFL. Each morning, Damien Barrett and I will share the biggest stories and the biggest opinions in footy. We'll connect the dots and tell you what the stories mean for your clubs and your favourite players. AFL Daily, your new daily footy habit. Available wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, let's take a quick look at our traded players. Most traded in, Peatling, obvious downgrade
Great
option.
target.
Rowan Marshall, tick.
Yep. Tick.
More of a
side bottom tick.
tick.
Now where do we sit on that?
Okay,
Who
how
is
do
it?
you split them? I'm Marshall ahead now.
Are you? Right.
There's not even anyone chopping out, really.
Yeah.
No, there's no one chopping
Who
out
do they play against? Hickey.
Sydney.
Who's given up the most?
in the last 5 weeks.
Oh, crikey.
Look at that, Roy. Bang, right in there. It's
What
unbelievable.
A good option he is.
So, coming off those scores.
I like them both. Still side bottom back-to-back weeks with 15 and 16 CBAs. He
Yep.
plays against Hawthorne, who are also one of the easiest teams for his position to score against.
Yep.
Oh, my God. They're the top.
Yeah, they're the top this year, and in the last 4 weeks, so in the last 5 weeks, they rank at number 3. So they're still giving up a lot of points.
That's
Both
why I
those-
wanted both of them.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I don't move on Sharp. Maybe I move on Bramble instead.
So you can get it.
Get them both.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sharpie should be fine.
Sharpie's back on. He's on a wing, but surely when they're coming down
He was
the
on
field
a wing
now,
last week.
Yeah, they were. They're going to go to Ellis over Sharp.
Look, this is where that dude was at. He was by himself, basically had the whole 50 to himself.
Yep.
The other team had a shot at goal. It's sailing through on the full, for a point actually, I think it was.
Yep.
Makes it even worse. Aggressively punch over instead of marking and going.
Okay.
Come on, if you're in that mindset,
He's gotta go.
You don't want to score.
You're right. He's
Do
gone.
you?
Nah. Out.
Question from the
Disgusting.
Facebook chat there is, can we emergency loophole Taranto? Would you consider putting him on the pine?
God.
Yes.
Probably.
Wow.
But that's if you're doing that, you should trade. If you're in that, if you believe that, but yeah, I 100%.
But then, like, who might you have? You might have Sharp, for example.
Yeah.
Would you be, if Taranto gets a 50?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to put Sharp on?
Sharp, he can't, even though I just bagged him out, he can't be that bad.
He can't go under 50.
And it's a better matchup for him.
Taranto, I'm really worried about it.
I'm not.
You're not. No. Against Geelong.
Yeah.
4 CBAs in 2 weeks.
87. If you're happy with 87, hold.
87.
Yeah.
Is that what he's got to score?
At least.
How many goals in that? Well, that's relevant coming up, dog. Hope you've got your mind working over there now. Isaac Smith is out.
I have been working.
Zach Smith.
The outs.
Did I say Zach?
I thought
Zach Smith. Now, they all heard us. Anyway, Jeremy Sharp's the most traded out. So are you okay with people doing that, I guess?
Sharpie out. Yeah.
Bramble.
Providing you're going to someone legit.
Taranto, 3.2K. Coaches have got rid of him.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
More after tonight, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Forward pocket.
Yep.
And I reckon we'll see the increase of our mate Lockie Neal, Roy, head up there. So
definitely.
That will be what we'll see. All right, let's get into this.
You're listening to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast, and this is the Gold Diggers thanks to Sportsbet.
Gold digger.
Right, Roy, you're up, mate.
Right, cool. So it's mine this week. So obviously our Punters Club for Freeze MND, sports bets, bet with mates, start a group, bet together, share the moment. Now, Friday night, it's a big one. We've got the Cats and the Giants, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, Patrick Dangerfield, anytime goal scorer, lock that in, especially given that he's been playing a bit forward. And Tim Taranto, anytime goal scorer, given that he's named at forward pocket.
That pays $5.75.
So chuck 20 on that.
Yep.
Very happy with that.
How you're keen on Taranto, aren't you?
Love a bit of Taranto
because he's actually $4 in that. Named in the forward pocket. Like, even if he does play mid, he's a very good chance to kick a goal. $4. Anyway, all right, Sunday. Was going to be here.
It was going to be here, but things don't change here because I'm pretty confident with it. So Tom Mitchell, 30 disposals or more. Happy with that. De Goat, 25 or more.
Easy.
He's been racking up a heap and playing. His midfield time has been outstanding lately, hasn't it? It just goes from strength to strength. And Josh Thomas, anytime goal scorer. So chucking 30 on that at $4.20.
Well, I like Thomas because he's actually averages a goal per game over the last 7 weeks. Amazing. You can find Bet with Mates in the Sportsbet app. Start your group and share the moment of betting together with your mates.
Group members must have a valid Sportsbet account to participate. Live betting not available. Conditions apply. See sportsbet.com.au for more details. As always, gamble responsibly. Now, Cal, we have got something. Well, you've been working a bit.
Oh, well, define working.
Well, you told me to load this up, and it's ready to go.
Ring! Green! Table! Cow scale of hardness.
Yes, now. It does have
such a good intro.
It has a bit of a reputation of wrecking seasons.
It does.
Okay, so there is a buyer beware.
Of course.
However,
there's only 3 weeks for you to wreck,
just flagging the numbers.
I've
had just got to be less vocal about really saying to follow.
Okay, so here you go. Let's look at defenders. This is the first thing I noticed for defenders. In defenders, there are 4 teams who give up the most points.
Yep.
We are looking Freo, Bulldogs, Collingwood and West Coast. This goes into, when I formulated this scientific calculation, right, it goes into what they've given up this year, but a little bit more weighted into what they've given up in the last 5 weeks. So there's 4 easy teams. Brisbane play 3 of them in the next 3.
Yeah, it's big.
Freo, Collingwood, West Coast. By far have the easiest run out of everyone. I'm looking at Daniel Rich.
Fair call too. He had about 60 in the first quarter out here the other day.
He could come home like a freight train.
He certainly could.
In defence, I am saying based on the scale,
he has to be an option.
He has to be an option. Has to be an option. In the midfield, it's a little bit. It's not that easy going, I guess, if you want to say that. I like what Melbourne have coming up. So they've got West Coast, who are one of the easiest teams, into Adelaide, and then a tough one to finish with Geelong.
Yep.
Don't mind Brisbane. So guys like Jared Lyons.
Yep.
He goes Freo, Collingwood, and then ends with a nice one there with West Coast. The juiciest run out of everyone is Sydney. but there's no one there really, a Sydney midfielder that you would really look at.
I think Parker's been going all right, hasn't he?
He's been going okay, but you're not going to bring him in, are you?
No, you're not. No.
So not even the scale can convince
so
you.
You talk about scale wrecking seasons. Scale got Neil in for me.
You should have gone Lions.
I should have.
Yeah. So I can't do that part for you.
No, you can't.
No. Geelong got a nice run home too. GWS this week, then into St Kilda and Melbourne. Melbourne actually have been one of the top 5 easiest teams to score the last bunch of weeks.
Yeah, cool.
Now, so, Dog, you learn a lot from that.
Which you wouldn't expect, though, would you?
Here's one for you, though. The hardest run coming up to end the season is for St Kilda.
Right.
Okay. So they go Sydney, Geelong in the next 2. That does not... Well, if you're tossing up between Took and the Man of Steel, does that sway your thinking?
Oh,
the Man of Steel's a little bit... He's above the scale.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
But that looks harsh. That's in your face.
It is in your face.
Bang.
Yeah, it is. Whereas Took goes... he goes Carlton.
Yeah.
Essendon. Geez, that's a walkover.
Yeah.
And then Sydney is a tough one at the end.
Very interesting.
Question here off Twitter is from Robert. Lads, can you double check the numbers on those rucks against Sydney? 100 score. That was English, 127. What have you done, Cal?
No.
Let me hit the refresh on this, Roy, just to make sure that my sources are correct. And the numbers are correct. According to my data, Sydney Ruck has given up 102 points in the last 5 games.
Right.
Okay.
So an average of that.
An average of 102.
So that's what it is. Maybe that's the question. Okay. That 127 would boost an average of 90s to the 100.
Yeah, it's always funny in the rucks too, because you can come up against some really hard rucks. You can have a hard ruck patch and a very easy ruck patch. Like, for example, last week, St Kilda got to play against Silvani in the ruck.
Of course.
It's a very individualised position in terms of data like that.
Anyway, so Darcy had 90 last week against Sydney.
Yep.
So, that doesn't boost it up, but... Anyway, and then who am I looking at here? And even Matt Flynn, was that a couple of weeks ago? He had a 71, and I don't think he even played out the full game. He had 55% game time. So, based on that.
Yep.
And they're not even bumped up. I don't bump these ones up, Dog. You know how I'm like, he's only had 50% game time, I'll bump that. You're not allowed to on this sort of stuff. So.
Oh, don't you?
No. Even here, though. So, English had that 127 3 weeks ago. So that would nearly get those through in the last 3 weeks up to about that 100 mark.
Yep. So there you go, anyway.
Well, Cal, let's see how you can ruin other people with this one.
Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Jeez.
137 average last week, I'm told.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, when you feel like you run the podcast and you bring
well done.
Everything,
it's quite incredible.
It's a little bit overwhelming at times.
It's taken 21 weeks.
Flipping through all my data and stuff here. Right,
because you're going so well.
It's a lot of pressure. Let's have a look at captains. The Man of Steel. How could you not go him against Sydney? The only thing he wouldn't is because Sydney are the 3rd hardest team to score against this year. He doesn't care.
What?
He doesn't care about that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, and that's
you
why
love him.
The scale does not belong to people like this. It belongs to people like Lockie Neal. No, not Lockie Neal. Those kind of players, that middle tier. So he's already played him once in round 12 and had 137.
Yeah, doesn't struggle against anyone.
If you've got the option of going him, you are going him. Or you got to go with my boyfriend Took.
Yep.
So 135 last week. He's already played against Carlton and had 140 this year.
Whoa.
That's just what he does.
Those two are unstoppable.
They are by far the best players
and they tackle
in fantasy footy.
They do everything.
Hit the stat lines. That's a big thing.
They do.
Tom Mitchell, I don't care if the grounds change. He's always awesome against Collingwood. Listen to these numbers. So he had 128 this year.
Yeah.
Now that's his lowest in his last 6. All right. Before that, 156, 135, 177, 132, 138. By far his favourite team to play.
That's just snout. That's why you got a snout.
Yeah.
That's years of data.
That's years. There. So number 3 on form, averaging 128 in his last 3. A lowest score for him is 108 in his last 8. So he's picking it up at the end of the season here again. I don't mind Petrarca and Lions. They've also got good matchups this week. Aaron Hall's an interesting one. So up against Richmond.
Yeah.
That could be anything.
It could.
And,
Chuck a V on it?
well, I'm not sure when he plays, to be honest. I think when's Richmond and North
changes
Melbourne?
pretty
Yeah, it flips around all the time.
frequently.
But, yeah, I think he's going to be great as well. So, keep an eye on the GOAT.
Yeah.
I reckon this is the first time GOAT's been in, actually second time he's been in Calvin's captains this year in the top 10.
Okay.
So, if you ever get in there, I just think they tend to rise to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So
what a turnaround.
the GOAT.
What an amazing turnaround in season.
Thing is, though,
remember those days that
We had sad times.
he wrecked our season.
Listen to
and then he made our season.
listen to some of these names in Calvin's captain's top 10, right? Aaron Hall. Would we have said that at the start of the year? You guys would have slapped me
Would've
silly.
gone, walk the plank.
Here's
pirate.
another one of DeGoey.
Yeah.
Freeney.
Fiorini.
Fiorini,
Now-
for those playing along at home.
Have you got him in there?
He's in there.
Wow.
He's only against Carlton.
Yeah.
You are more reactionary with your captains sometimes than Roy is with the Rowan
Mate,
22.
he's averaged 123 in his last 3.
You still don't even
he's
know
a
how to say
beast.
his name.
Yes, I do. Braden. you want to joke, Dog, before you
I didn't even know you'd got one organised this week.
Dog, I have
You've only
one
got
organised.
3 to go.
I have, well, I'm scraping the barrel, to be honest.
You are.
And,
And
you know, when I...
you didn't give me any heads up about it this week, so
It's
be
pretty clean.
careful.
It's pretty clean.
Be very careful.
Let's hope so. Do you reckon I should tell the one I told you that?
Save it.
All right. Last episode.
Yeah.
That one. For people at home.
So
are
then
like,
we get-
tell us now, Cal. No, here it is. Right, okay. So a pirate dresses up as a chicken and he walks into a bar.
Right.
Now, pirates do that. Like,
Yeah.
pirates dress up. Like, okay, a pirate's not born a pirate dog. They're born a person,
Yeah.
and then they choose to dress as a pirate.
Correct.
So pirates constantly get changed in outfits,
Yeah.
right? So a pirate dressed as chicken walks into a bar. The
Yep.
barman says, no. We don't serve poultry. He goes, no, that's okay. I'm just after a beer.
Oh, dear.
That's where it's got to.
Use your other one.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
We're very lucky people have dropped off listening and watching because they would be demanding their refund of $0 back for this. All right, some questions.
What?
That was bad.
Oh, dog, it's hard. It's hard work. When you filter my jokes.
There are some very good
That's
pirate
true.
jokes out there, and there's much better jokes than that if you're trying to put a pirate into a character.
No, there's not.
All right, Lockie wants to know from Facebook, how are we, legends?
We're really
Good,
good.
mate.
Thanks for asking. I'm having a great night. Coffee's gone cold, but thank you for asking.
Do or die this week, and I've
Do.
got enough money
These
to bring in Mills or Zorko.
Oh.
Well, it's Mills. But we'll have to bench either Bramble or Sharp to do it.
Let me check the scale.
So, do you bench... Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is the question. Bench Sharp and get Mills, or bench Bramble and get Zorko?
Bench Sharp and get Mills.
So you're essentially playing Bramble and Mills or Sharp and Zorko.
Yeah, Bramble and Mills.
Bramble and Mills.
Yeah.
100%. Who knows what the difference
So,
is going to
bench
be
Sharpie.
between Bramble and Sharp? What's the difference?
I don't know. Bramble appears to be safer, have a safer,
He's
smaller
got a
bracket.
smaller...
yeah.
Yep.
So I'd be doing that.
Yeah.
Yep, why not?
And Mills is better anyway.
Yeah, he can be
Mills
150.
could be a lot more, especially if we see Zorko do what he did here for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
But no,
But what if he does the last quarter 4 times?
What's 4 times 62, Cow?
I don't know, 829.
Yep.
Jeez. Losing the plot. Michael wants to know, into the prelims in my leagues and have over 200K in the bank. Do I go up, down and get a rookie off field or cash out for next week? Now, we talked about this a little bit on the Monday podcast, so you can go back and listen to that if you haven't. But, would you fix up some spuds like Phillips, Houston this week or double down for a truckload of cash? What would you be doing?
I fix up this week.
And fix up some of those spuds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fix that.
I'm in that position, so I'm looking at, do I turn Sharp into someone really cool?
Yep.
Okay. Or do I fix up a Cumming, a Taranto, a Hind, all those sort of guys that are scoring potentially worse than what Sharp will score this week? That's my little dilemma.
Look, Hind is back at...
Marvel.
Because I heard his name mentioned.
Yeah.
there. He's back at Marvel and there's no hep.
Yes.
He's going
Should be
85
good.
plus.
He lives again.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's
I
safe
agree.
again now.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayfella sitting at 176. Good work.
Go.
Trying to get into hat territory. Do I upgrade Taranto to Mills via DPP? Or do I upgrade Cumming to one of either Daniel Daniels' brother Caleb, Rich or Main, staying away from Whitfield being burnt with single-digit scores before? So, are you going Taranto to Mills? Or are you going Cumming to... And it's probably Daniel Rich then, Cow, over Caleb Daniel in your scale of hardness?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Scale hasn't been wrong before, so
No.
I'd be going...
Caleb, see, remember back when we had him and he stuffed us around? He's been in great form again the last couple of weeks.
And
so
who's
he's
he play this week? Essendon.
Wow.
I just can't trust the Bulldogs.
No, I can't either.
He's
I
like
still can't trust him.
He appears to be the only trustworthy one at the moment.
Yeah, it still
but
plays
that can
midfield
change.
and
Yeah.
stuff times.
I'm
Yeah, he
taking-
does.
which is not good for
And
his scoring
forward?
either.
No, it's not.
I'm taking Daniel Rich, though. Like,
Yeah.
underrated this year.
Yeah.
3 bright
been
greens.
Yeah, and for those people who have jumped on him, they've just quietly gone about their business.
This is he's going for a hat.
Yeah, it's time to put him on the
Launch.
line.
Not many people ahead of him would
At
have Rich.
176, so you've got,
Yeah.
there'd be a little bit of a gap.
Yep.
Going someone unique, because I reckon Mills will get quite popular. If you wanted to go against
Agreed.
that,
Yeah.
then it would be Rich.
Look,
Can Taranto bounce back from him? Because Taranto can get him a hat or cost him a hat here because he's 30% ownership.
Taranto
but
can
will
go.
they, all of that top 100, have the opportunity to get rid of him as well? Like, I don't know. It's a
Don't know.
pretty tough one.
I'd be offloading him.
He's a popular pick, so
Offload him, get in Rich, hashtag trust the scale.
Oh, so don't go Mills from Taranto.
No.
Go to Rich.
Go to Rich and do something else. You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
wow.
Everyone's going Mills this week.
They
Okay,
might,
he sits as one of the most traded in players.
Yeah.
I don't want
And
them to
rightfully
lose
so.
the biscuit completely, though.
But what's the difference? He's-
Sometimes going the popular dude is the right option.
yeah, but
'Cause you
he's
don't wanna miss
either
out.
in this one. It's like the Boomers today. You're either going to finish 150th and just play a straight bat, or you could finish 400th here, or you could come 80.
right.
What's the
So
difference?
how's the relevance of the Boomers in that?
No, well, I feel like...
What's your analogy
No.
there?
When they were like 20 down. No, when they were 20 down,
Right,
the comment was made, basically, they've just got to go for it now. They either lose by 40 or get back into this game. Okay, that's the relevancy of this
In other
comment.
words, launch a heap of threes, launch into Daniel Rich. Is that what you're saying?
Agree.
Right.
So is he related to Daniel Daniels?
Yeah, brothers.
Okay. Cooper, for those that have the week off, is it worth double downgrading this week or one up, one down? What is your thing with that?
I'm one up, one down.
Yeah, I'm double downgrading because that injury could happen to that bloke you upgrade to.
Yeah, I
That's where
understand
I am.
exactly what Roy's
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
because you can actually be stuck next week with a whole bunch of cash in your
Yeah,
thing.
but I still think you can do stuff with it.
Yeah, if you go one up, one down, then you're still making your team
What if
obviously
next
better.
week Steele and Took
Are
are
both
managed?
out. Yeah. I
do you
understand
do?
exactly what you're saying.
Then you got a lot of coin for your grand final when you make that.
You won't
That's
make
very
it, though.
positive. You won't be in there, though.
Trade out Bramble or Sharp. Which one would you trade first?
It's a tough one.
Sharp for me.
Why Sharp?
Got a few more dollars on his head.
Yes.
And he dropped to 34.
Yeah. He's not as reliable.
No, and I think I like Bramble's matchup this
Agree.
week. I feel like he's a safe 75.
Agree.
Pies aren't giving up the
Let me check.
points
Like
that
they
they used
were.
to.
No.
I don't think, to defenders.
No, I think you're probably right.
Am I
but
right,
it
Cal?
still
To
feels,
defenders?
Yeah.
still feels pretty safe.
Over the last 5 weeks, Dog, you are 100% correct.
Dry.
They are probably
Not
sitting
often wrong.
very
So,
mid-range.
Dog, you are going to sit there and say trade Bramble out?
No,
Based
not
on that?
necessarily. I'm
Oh.
just saying that
Just
it's
checking.
not that big. Like
Yeah.
it's not. Oh, he's got Collingwood this week, kind of thing.
It's not what it
Keep
used to
him
be.
for
It's not
the-
something you'd chase, but I don't fear them being
But like I
more
think
restrictive.
you
of
probably
late.
feel like you're going to have a safer score from him
I do.
in Sharp, and you've got 60k difference or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
That
if I had
could
a
get
gun
you
at your head, and I didn't bring one, it's just an analogy,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And I said, what, you dog,
Well,
it's an analogy.
It was a bit violent, wasn't
It's an anomaly. That's what
Okay,
it is.
I've got a stick
Right.
next to your head.
That's
Yeah.
just as bad.
and I will whip your head, right?
Right. Yeah.
Who
With
will
the stick?
guarantee
Is it
me
a floppy stick?
Guarantee me who's going to score 60 this week.
Bramble.
Lucky.
Oh, how did I blinky flinch there? I thought you were actually going to...
Best bid under 788k. So he's got these options here for Ben: Adams, Keys, Fiorini, Gaff. Out of those guys, who would you like the most?
Fiorini.
Fiorini, based on...
All day long.
He's got a good matchup too, Fiorini.
He's got a great matchup.
Yep.
He's one of the most informed players at the moment.
Yep.
Done.
Great.
For Wayne, would you go Ridley and Bramble out to Andy Brayshaw and a 170k player? Let's assume that the 170k player is on the pine.
Yeah.
Would you do that? Andy
Yes.
Brayshaw. Form. He was great last week.
It was outstanding. He's been really good. What's the scale say about it?
Scale says tough one this week against Brisbane, and then he just cruises home. West Coast, St Kilda, two of the easiest teams.
I wouldn't fear Brisbane at the moment either.
No, I wouldn't fear them either.
No.
Jono, Mules or Lions?
Mules or Lions?
Lions. Both great, though.
Both great. Agree.
Aaron wants to know Chera, Lloyd, Gaff or Marshall. So let's break them down a little bit now.
Lloyd.
So Chera a bit cheaper, I'd say.
It's Lloyd.
Lloyd, Gaff or Marshall. Let's cross
Marshall.
Gaff and Chera off. Lloyd or Marshall.
I'm taking Marshall.
I'm taking Marshall, but I don't think he's considered the scale and Daniel Rich into that.
Okay.
In which I would still take Marshall.
No one has thought of Rich until you've mentioned it tonight.
Have a look at his numbers. He's
been very good.
He has been very
This would
good.
be his career best, would it?
It has to be.
Marshall, Kennedy or side bottom? Are we crossing Kennedy off that list? Your mate Kennedy? Matt Kennedy?
He's a great option still.
Out of those other two?
Yeah.
And did we answer, if you did, I've forgotten already, Marshall or side bottom?
I think we talked about it for a long time and
But didn't
no
give
one
an
actually
answer.
put him on the line. I think Marshall has nearly forced our hand.
Agree.
Given
Yeah.
that there is not even another ruck named this time.
Yep.
And it sounds like Paddy's going to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So
So
Hunter's obviously not in the frame anymore. He's just rolling number one ruck.
They are both great trade-ins.
Yeah.
Side
And
bottom named on the ball.
at the start.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Jeez.
I want them both. They're both great options.
Yeah, and it might be this week for one and next week the other, but I think Marshall being solo has nearly forced our hand. We saw what he did last week, and it was a great matchup though, because no DeConning, it was only up against Silvani. Yeah, okay. I still think, are you still Marshall?
Just.
Yeah. I don't know. Are those numbers from last week overinflated? They're overinflated.
They're massively overinflated.
Yeah.
It's just there was a 122 before it,
Yeah.
which was really nice.
Side bottom's numbers overinflated as well because West Coast basically crossed the Nullarbor halfway through the game, I reckon, went back home.
That was ridiculous. That was inflated too. But it's that 15 and
He
16
kicked the goal
CBA.
from the goal square because he copped one over the top and stuff. Like, yeah, but it is. The role is. But then again, Marshall's role is.
They've both got great
Marshall's
roles.
role is better this
They've
week.
both got great roles and great matchups.
You know what? I'm actually still side bottom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still in that camp.
Yeah, I think I'll go side bottom still. He's 30k cheaper as well.
Look, you can justify it that way if you want, but I think he could be better off for the rest of the year.
According to the scale.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the fact that Marshall's solo.
Yeah.
Right? We all do. But, I'm just not sold.
Last couple of questions from the chat. Someone did ask where are we getting these questions from. We put up an event on this coming live and we put out a post on there. So we answer those ones first for the people that take the time to hit going or interested or whatever it is on the Facebook event. So Marshall or Rich for Patrick?
I've started this
You have.
tsunami of riches, haven't I?
Marshall.
It's Marshall.
Rich. Trust the scale.
All right. Can you tweet out your scale, Cow, so people can see it?
What? Now?
The pitch, well, later on.
Before
tonight
the
or something?
podcast? No. It's mine. I will send it out.
Stephen wants to know, Petrarca or Lions?
You know what? This was my decision at the start of the week, and it's a tough one. Like, Petrarca is so good.
He is.
And who's he play this week? He plays West Coast,
Oh, gosh.
who Collingwood had 9 tons against.
Busted up. Witches hats.
So,
They're back home, though.
yeah, he's...
You have to wait until Monday night for it. That would put me off.
Yeah, here's one for you, though. And I'll need to check my numbers. He's either got only 1 or 0 hundreds outside of Melbourne this year,
Oh,
Petrarca.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's Jared Lyons.
Yeah.
You would go him first.
Like, even no Neil is just icing on the
Yeah,
cake
it
for
is.
Lions.
Yep.
Lucky.
And they don't tag him.
No.
He's one of those guys that never get a tag. Even if he did, he's going to tackle his way to double-figure tackles. He does it all.
All right, Fiorini or Guthrie?
It's the pasta.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Guthrie disrespected?
No,
Yeah,
yes, he
big
is,
time.
100%.
Undeservingly.
And he's cheap, but even with Matt De Boer back in this week, maybe he cops a little bit of attention.
Possibly.
Michael wants to know, we've put a line through Dunkley. It was a 50 last week. I think you have to.
You
It's
have
the
to.
Dogs.
Yeah. Line through.
Line through.
Pick him next year.
Correct.
He cost me against you in draft, Roy.
I loved it.
He's still averaging 100 for the year.
Yeah.
So would you go at that next year as a...
Yeah, definitely.
If he's at 100.
Yeah.
Unders.
At 100.
Considering what he did at the...
But...
What's still the Bulldogs?
But it's still Duncan. Like that. Oh, who are we talking about? Dunkley. Oh, God, I don't know what I'm on about. Let's go. Next one.
Wow.
No, Dunkley he's only averaged, he's still averaged 104 then.
I see where you went. You were Guthrie to
Duncan.
but we'd moved on.
Oh, no, I hadn't. How many weeks, though?
Just
Only
a couple months.
Let's go!
Oliver or Adams?
It's Oliver.
Oliver.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the
Both
Adams.
great players. Though.
Great matchups for both this week.
Yeah.
Adams is in the top 10 Calvin's captains, but Oliver is not. Just because he has that ability to burn you. Adams, I don't think will. He's always solid.
Yeah.
Treloar or McCluggage? Oh, I just couldn't pick Treloar, and McCluggage hasn't really done everything you want him
No,
to.
he's
neither.
cheap for a reason at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
I'd look elsewhere.
He's 700k, coming off 109.
There's probably not too many options around that.
But
Would you
no
go-
Neil,
Yeah.
maybe he's a little better this week because of it.
Would you give Ridley one more week with Heppel out?
Well, I've seen that pop up a lot, and I think they need to, don't they?
I think so, especially...
His price point now makes it hard to do what you'd really like to.
And
but yeah,
I think he's going to benefit as well from being at Marvel as well.
hopefully
And that Hep out thing.
teams kick a few behinds. The Swans kept kicking straight. That was half of the issue.
Here's one for even on that.
Basically
So
tag Papley.
who have they got? They've got the Bulldogs, yeah? And in the last 5 weeks, Bulldogs have been the easiest for defenders. So talk about kissed at the right time,
That's
dog.
kissed.
Look at him.
Sweet.
He scored me 38 last week.
Sweet. And the number 2 easiest team this year, the Bulldogs to score against. It's amazing because
It is.
you can, as a midfield, you can't get a touch against them.
No.
But as a defender, hey, all yours. Riddler, over to you.
All right, last question here then comes from Caden. Is it worth paying the $940K for Steele or Miller?
Yes.
Or saving cash and going with Fiorini?
It's no time for saving coin. It's not the
Depends on
time.
what the rest of your team looks like.
Don't care. You got a couple of weeks to go. Pay up.
Get the
enjoy.
guy you like more. If you can afford them,
Yep.
if you got the cash there, just
Go for
enjoy
it.
the end of the season.
Exactly. Go for it.
We've got too much to think about now. We've got to get ourselves ready, us Neil owners, Roy.
I don't know. I tried
Something
to
to
start
do.
the show positive, then Neil does that. At least I got Briggs in.
I loved how many things he's been out for this year.
Unbelievable.
What is it? Calf, shoulder, illness now. Sure, there would have been a concussion, maybe a Sinders in there, Roy.
He definitely
He did have
sinned.
Sinders.
He would have
did.
had a sin.
Yeah.
He did.
He's up to 5. Is he now on the never again list?
Depends how cheap he ends up.
Oh, yeah.
He's unders. He'd be
He's-
unders.
He's
Way
under for
unders.
what he does.
But he hasn't looked fit. So I don't know.
He's
Have
priced.
to wait and see.
He's priced at 91 next year at the
Oh,
moment.
gosh.
That's a must-have.
Lock and load.
That's
It's
a
a lock
bargain.
and load.
Yeah, so it's bye for now, Lockie. See you again next preseason.
Round
Exactly.
one.
Yep.
Give me back.
He will be.
dear.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to say good luck this weekend, but anyway, it's bad. I don't know how I'm going
He's a bad man.
I don't know
Bad
how I'm going to
dog.
hold on this week. It's bad. I'll be out of action.
Will you?
Warn Dogs. Yeah, it sucks.
You're going to get kissed with your Bombers. Backs.
Don't know.
Yeah, you'll be right, dog.
It's all right.
Turn that frown upside down, Warren.
Thanks for tuning in.
This whole episode, you know how we got caught on camera, me checking out a couple of weeks ago?
Done.
Got him. Dog down.
All right. Good luck,
Dog
everyone.
gone.
Hope everyone has a great weekend.
Oh, lovely
Thank
attitude,
you.
dog. Well
And good
done.
luck with your team.
Yeah, I hope your team goes well too there, Warren. Well done.
Thanks.
Hope you pick a good captain, say something like that.
Hope it sucks so bad.
Go and eat one.